Okay, today, guys, I am joined with my client Kashara today, and she is here to explain to you guys what it's like working with me, and what she got out of the experience, and anything else you want to share.
Okay.
So today, let's start with the first question. The first question is, before you connected with me and did an In the Light combo session, did you know anything about numerology and spiritual hypnosis?
I did not know anything about spiritual hypnosis.
Okay.
How I did know about a little bit about numerology, very limited.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I knew was personal year number and life path number, but I didn't know mine.
Yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to turn this around. Yeah, that's much better for me. Okay. Okay. So now so what made you decide, what was like the turning point for you to decide, hey, what she's saying sounds good, and I think I want to book an appointment with her?
Yes. That day, like yesterday. So I was going through a very tough time in life at the moment, and I was just on this path to find answers. Like, why am I going through all of this, and how am I overcome this? So I already knew about spirit guides and my spirit team, and that I'm just on this journey and karmic lessons. But I was sitting in my car, and whenever I'm from work, I like to listen to podcasts or YouTube videos about like just spiritual things. And so I had gotten a solar return reading for my birthday, which was November 13th. And after that, the girl that did it, she did a meditation with me 1 week later. And she said that, oh, well, I feel like you need to know this, but your personal year you're going into a year 4, and you have to watch your finances and your health. So that scared the crap out of me, because at the time, what I was going through, I didn't need no financial issues. So I was like, God, I'm about to go through more, So I had started YouTubing the hell out of personal year 4. And then I crossed you, Cynthia, and I saw your video, and I saw I think it was last year. So it might have been 2020 or 2021, but because when I saw your video, it was in 2021. It was in December of 2021.
Okay.
So but I was listening to it, and I said, she sounds like she knows what she's talking about. And I need to know her to talk to her. Yeah. So I clicked her link, and I that's when I did the phone call. I did the discovery call. I scheduled the discovery call, and it was just something in me that was like, this is what you need to get you to where you're going. You need this boost. You need this information. And that's how I was led to you.
Oh, perfect. And I remember that call just like it was yesterday. It's so funny because I can remember all of my clients, like, even their life path, information. As soon as they call me and say, hey, I need to talk to you, it's like click. Everything that we talked about, it comes right back. Even though no matter how many clients I've had, like I always remember the things I need to remember to help you in that time that you need me. So I remember that clearly too. And I said, wait a minute, now when is your birthday? And, and I like it when I'm talking to people, it's not about how much you're going to pay. If you need something like right there, even in the free consultation, I will tell you. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you're not in your year 4. Like you're not in your year 4. So why would she give you that information? And then you're like, okay, I need to book an appointment with you. Cause you just made, you gave me some clarification. You confirmed some things for me that I was scared as shit, but now you have truly like, you made me feel much better. So, so thank you so much for that. So now that you've worked with me, has anything changed? Or do you feel like you've had a healing? Just, I'm gonna let you tell it.
I could tell, yes. Things have changed drastically in a short period of time. That's not to say that things have gotten easier. Now I know how to deal with things.
Right.
And I know why I'm dealing with certain things. And that's what makes it easier. And also I learned that I'm in a Pinnacle 8, which helped because you told me in Pinnacle 8, I that's my time to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that we can actually manifest bad things,
mm-hmm.
whatever, because there were times when, before I knew that information,
mm-hmm.
I put negativity into existence. And that's why when I was worried about those finances, that's why I was broke, because you made. And so now I learned from you that I'm in a Pinnacle 8. Now whenever I have a negative thought,
mm-hmm.
no, because we're not.
That's right. Because you are constantly creating your reality.
Yes.
Constantly. And you know, like you mentioned, you are in a pinnacle, not a year, but a Pinnacle 8, which means it goes over 9 years, it depending if you're on your first, your second, your third, to fourth. So when you're thinking about this, okay, if I got 9 years at least to be in this money-making pinnacle, I know that there's going to be some issues along the way, but I can manifest the good stuff that I want to come to me, right? Then it's like, okay, I had to change my train of thought, my, you know, how I'm thinking, what I'm saying, good or bad. I got to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to what I'm manifesting, right?
That's exactly how I feel now. I feel like whatever, like if I'm having a bad day, and if I start with thoughts about just anything, money or certain people, shut it down, and let's think about the right things that we need to think about. If I'm in a Pinnacle 8, and now that I know that, that's not to say that everything that I speak is going to happen. It may happen in form, but I know that I'm speaking this into existence. If I have that power to do that, that's what I need. And also in it also helped me because when I learned about, when we were talking about my numerology report, I had to learn that digging deeper into my spirituality, because I have it in me, but I have to. And so after that, probably later, I signed up for the University of Metaphysics, and that's helping me get more spiritually connected. And help people. Because then you said in my fourth pinnacle, I have, and if I was there, then I have to start doing the work now, and I have to be serious. And so
your fourth pinnacle is very, very rare. For the number that you have, you know, I probably have ran across, you probably the second one. It's a very rare pinnacle. So that means, you know, whatever you're doing right now, you're getting yourself ready for that fourth pinnacle, because you're going to step into that master number, that master teacher, that, you know, spreading love, because that's what that master 33 is all about. And it is a very rare number. So, you know, I can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Yes. And I learned to do the work, because someone would also believe that, that automatically believes that that's going to happen. When you said that 33 can turn into a 6 if you don't do what you're supposed to do, that means that I have to do the work. This is not something that's automatically happening, because a lot of people, they don't want to do the work. Like a lot of us think that, we just got to sit back and it's going to come. And that's why I had to learn about manifestation. Like you can manifest bad things too. So don't just think the Pinnacle 8, like all this stuff is going to come to you. You have to do the work. You're thinking, and that has helped me. Like, and all the that I come across, it's still a struggle, because even also in my numerology report, I learned about my anger, and I learned me being insensitive to others, and now to my friends when they talking about something, I'm like, get out of here with that. And I'm like, because if I'm trying to make sure, I have to listen to people and empathize with them, and think, you know, that it may be small to you, but it's not. We have to make it big, like they're making it out. And so,
because everybody's not where you are. And so you will be the one that will help bring everybody else up, help them with their vibration, help them with, you know, bringing their positivity up. Because some people don't even think that they think that they're okay. They've been talking like this all their lives. You know, they think that they're fine. But then the more you start to rise and elevate spiritually, then you're going to see it coming from all walks of life. You're going to be like, wait a minute now. I know we talk like this all, ever since we've been knowing each other, but you can't talk like that anymore. Because this is what it's doing to your life. When people say, I'm sick of this person, or I'm tired of, they don't realize they're manifesting that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're manifesting sickness in their lives. So, I'm just proud of you. I'm so happy for you, for your growth.
That brings me to another point that you helped me realize. Mm-hmm. What I tell people, because people also manifest, like if you're telling somebody your plan. So if I tell somebody that I'm studying metaphysics now, and some people, they don't realize that they're speaking negativity. So they say things like, oh, that girl, you're gonna be busy, or how could you do all that? You got kids, you got a career, now you're doing that. That's just too much. Or even dating somebody, people can say, oh, make sure you watch that because they're trying to show you all the good side now. But and that's people don't realize they're manifesting that negativity onto you.
Right, their vibration.
Yeah, and I learned to keep it quiet and
exactly.
Keep it. Watch who
move in silence. Move in silence, and then they will see the change in you.
Yep. Yeah. Because you're manifesting that, because other people may be in a pinnacle 8 too, just like me, and they don't realize that they are manifesting when they speak negativity into other people.
It comes right back to them too.
People are not doing it on purpose. They think they're helping you out, but you're not, because you are speaking into my plans and my
exactly.
So moving in silence is another thing that
moving in silence. Yeah, and people say, well, even when they talk about celebrities, it's like, okay, but you may not know them, but your vibration is still going to them and it's coming back to you. Yeah, it's still going. They're still humans, even though they may be on this pedestal, or people put them on this pedestal. They still are human, and they still can feel your vibration, and it goes to them, but it still comes back to you. So just be mindful, whoever you talk about, think about, or whatever the things that you're thinking about, that whatever you say about them, you're saying it about yourself.
Yep.
So, so that's some good stuff. So tell me this: when you were put in a trance, did it feel like you was in a trance at first?
No, it did.
Okay.
You don't feel like you're asleep. You don't feel like you are not in control. It's not anything. I didn't feel any of that. And then when we did the second one, when you say it felt like 30 minutes.
Right.
Reflecting back, it does feel like you're watching a movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. It feels
it's just like a dream, but you're not asleep. You can open up your eyes anytime. You're not in a place where, you don't have control. You have control at all times. And that's what I want people to get to realize, is that when you use the word trance, it's not like you see when people are sitting on a stage and they're barking like a dog. It's nothing like that. This is totally, it's just like a meditative state. And you are just, you're there, and then you're seeing, your eyes are gently closed, and then it's like a movie screen in front of you. Except you have the feelings. You can feel things, but it's perfect. Even though we did our session through Zoom, I still protected you. I still took care of you. I made sure that, let you know if something happens. If I fall off of Zoom, I'm gonna jump right back on Zoom on my phone or my iPad or some way. But you are completely safe. And when you woke up, it's like, I don't know if you want to share that you had a couple attachments though, but when you don't even know that you have these attachments. And I try to tell people, you may think I'm perfectly fine. I'm not, nothing is going on with me. You don't know what's there. You don't know what's influencing you. So if you ever find yourself in a state of depression and you staying there, you're opening up yourself for attachments.
Yes. And people do need to realize that when you are dealing with depression, take it serious, and then get not only the work from a mental health specialist, but also getting the spiritual work, because it's like I did to me, and I had to get my spiritual work done. To why am I feeling this way? Why am I in this state of depression? And why am I, like, I would do one of the biggest things. So my grandmother was attached to me, and I would drink alcohol. I always wanted to listen to 60s and 70s music. I would feel like I was in that time. And now I see why, because my grandmother was an alcoholic when she was alive. She cirrhosis of the liver at 50. I think she was 56, anywhere between 54 and 56. But she, and that was her thing. Had friends over, a lot of alcohol, and they would listen to their music. And of course, in that era, 60s and 70s was what they would listen to. Even she passed away in 1991, but she was still listening to her 60s and 70s music because that was their thing. And
that was their thing, right?
Right. So that was one of the spirits that were attached to me, and for a long time.
For you were 6 years old.
Right. Yeah.
For a very long time. And so how it's like, so all of this time you've had children, you've been married. It's like, I didn't even know this difference about me. I didn't even know that this was going on with me, but you knew once you started working in your spirituality, okay, I need to have some work done. Something is going on that I don't know what it is. And you never would have thought it was an attachment. But when we talked, that was the first thing when I asked you about your grandmother. I was like, well, tell me, because you said you would dream about your grandmother all the time. And then when I said, tell me what did your grandmother look like when you dreamed about her? And what you disclosed to me, I said, well, she may not be in the light, but we'll see, because I don't like to paint a picture for people. And then they're like, okay, I don't want to do this, I just let them know that, I don't know what we're going to find out when we get in there, but just be cautious. Whatever it is, I will take care of it. Right. Yep. Your grandma was very loving. What I loved about her is because she's the one who found me, even though it's you thought you were looking for these videos. She said that she was the one who saw me, and she was the one that influenced you to contact me. So she was ready to go to the light. She was tired. She wanted you. She didn't want you to be depressed anymore or be down. She didn't say depressed, but she said she wanted the best for you. So, which was, and so that's why she influenced you to contact me. And that's what most spirits do when they're tired and ready to go to the light.
Yes. And I actually had a dream about, like, this was probably, let me see, maybe 4 months before I connected to you. And it felt so real.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, you're here. We've been all this time. And she could speak.
Yeah.
Smile and look at me, and she had on all white. And that is just confirmation that she was ready. She
needed help. Yes. Very good. Okay. So what would you say is somebody who's watching this saying that, when she's talking about numerology, she's talking about hypnosis, that's against God, about what my belief system is, that stuff is against God. What would you say about that?
So I would say that people, I have heard that before, and somebody told me because I burn sage, I'm practicing witchcraft.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So for people like that, they have to understand that God blesses people with gifts. To help other people.
Exactly.
Because it was at one point, I was a person that went to church every single Sunday, and that was it, and Bible study on Wednesday. But honestly, yes, it helps you temporarily, but it doesn't help you lifelong. Right. I would not that I'm in a Pinnacle 8 and I can manifest things. I was still speaking negativity, and there was a lot of negativity happening in my life and I was still going to church every Sunday and every Wednesday. And I also wasn't getting the work because I had traumatic events as a child for that. So people need to realize that there are things outside of just the church that God has blessed people with, gifts that God has blessed to help them on their journey. And, so I would say that you can't just believe in this one, like going to church every Sunday is going to heal you and save you, because even people that have been in a church every single Sunday, they have their demons. There are people there are people that are in a church that are cheating on their wife, cheating on their husband. And even this, so when the pandemic hit, I know people that they used to be drug addicts, and when the pandemic hit, could not go to church, and they didn't have the internet access to go to church, Zoom and stuff. They went back out there and resorted back to drugs. Okay. However, had other things, like they had a numerology report, or they had healing, if they had some sage and prayed, that could have stopped them from resorting back to that addiction.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't realize that is not going to church every single Sunday is not your savior. You are your savior.
Exactly. You are, because we all have the light of God inside of us.
Yeah. And that's people have through God, you are your savior.
Exactly.
And just because people, read numerology reports, that does not believe you don't believe in God. God is using that gift to show you who you are, who you're supposed to be. And that's about that. So I don't believe when people say witchcraft and all that stuff. That is not what that is. Look at me. I mean, I'm even a testimony. Look how I came out of depression from a numerology report. And I learned more about myself and who I'm and going on my journey, opening up and doing, getting my degree in metaphysics, so that one day I could be a spiritual counselor or helping somebody in some way. So these are things that help you learn about you. And that's here to support you. So this is of God.
Yes, all the way. All the way, because we can't talk about speaking positive if we're talking about this is against God, right? In churches, you do have this person on this pulpit who is giving their opinion about some words in the book, and they're like, you have to be perfect, you have to do this, or you're going to hell. Well, that's why constantly I'm helping people cross over into the light, because they get stuck here after they die because they thinking about hell.
Yeah.
So that hinders people from truly living their lives and knowing who they are, because they feel like a slave. And then once they die, it's like, oh, I didn't get saved before I died, or I didn't go repent, or I didn't go do this. But look at the things that you did do. And if you got the light, then go in that light, because that light is not going to take you to a place of hell.
No.
So, I have to cancel the living and I have to cancel the dead, because it's like whatever you thinking, whether it's your religion's belief, whatever you thinking, when you leave here, when you leave this earth, you're going to have those same thoughts, those same feelings when you get on the other side. And if you see that giant light that said, come on in, and you're like, nope, because you don't know, I slept with somebody's husband, or I did this, then you're going to turn away from that light and you'll be stuck here. And then you have to wind out attaching to someone just to drain their energy.
Yes. And then, and that's the thing, like you said, when with church, sometimes you can get judged for things. So sometimes when people do stuff like that, like sleeping with somebody's husband or doing something that they can be judged for, they don't forgive themselves.
Exactly.
And until the day that they die, just like you said, they don't want to go to the light. And also with numerology and Reiki, it helps you forgive yourself. And you are human. We all have done things that were not so great, but it helped us learn the lesson.
It helped us learn the lessons, and this possibly could have been in our contract. Nothing that happens to us is not already written. So it's not like this is going to, this is a surprise to God. No, this is your path. Now, what did you learn from it? That's the thing. So so sometimes the church can make you try to walk this perfect life, but then you still have these lessons to do. So when these lessons come up and people come into your life so they can challenge you, then it's like, oh God, now what am I gonna do? I can't forgive myself. Now you have unforgiveness. Now you have shame. Now you have embarrassment. Now you have all of these extra emotions that you have put onto yourself, because you don't truly know who you are and know that you are here to experience, to have lessons. That's why we all are here to heal. Yes. We come here to heal. So there are people that shows up in our lives to help us through this healing process. And church cannot prevent that.
No,
church cannot prevent that.
Because also when I was heavy into church and going, my husband, and miserable. But when I learned about my numerology report and my life path, I had to realize that, because also in the churches, some churches, not all, but some do not believe in divorce, and they think you're supposed to stick in there and just deal with this abuse marriage, because this is the union that God put together. No, because sometimes they are karmic relationships.
Exactly.
And I know that my ex-husband is a karmic relationship. I've known that had I just not ventured out and learned about other things that I needed for my life.
Right.
You know? And so, and I needed that. I needed to get out of that. But it was a lesson for me.
Right. Right.
I learned self-love, everything.
You could not escape that karmic relationship. It was bound to happen.
Right. But that lesson, because if I stayed,
yes,
and continued to go to church every single Sunday and just believe that I cannot leave, then that went to another life.
Exactly. It would have continued, because it was not supposed to last this lifetime. You were supposed to come in, meet this karmic relationship that you have this contract with, get it done so it can be over, and you never will have to incarnate with this person again.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is very deep spiritual teachings that it takes a lot for people to grasp, because people are so programmed with the society thinking that it has to be a mother, a father, a husband, two perfect children, and a White House. Well, everybody's life, everybody's picture of what their path's supposed to look like, it's not going to be like that. There may not be a mother, because this child needs to learn how to have independence. This child needs to learn how to be a leader. So the mother may leave, the father may leave, so they would make them stronger. So this is the contract that you take with people. And people have to realize your picture is not going to look like the next person's picture. Stop trying to mimic somebody else's picture. Even if they got the perfect husband, even if they got the perfect life, even if they got the perfect body, your picture, your costume, your world is not going to look like somebody else's world.
Yeah. And that was a message for people that are atheists, people that don't believe, because they think that, well, if there was a God, why would God allow this bad stuff to happen? It's not bad. It means it does seem bad. Like if you were raped or, molested and all those terrible things, and people on drugs, but those things are also needed to teach you something.
Exactly. And guess what? Most rape, most molestations that I've seen, that I had to go through hypnosis with these people, I had to take them back to a past life where they abused the abuser. So this was just a way to make up the karma. So people have to understand that the universe is a perfect accounting system. Just because you don't get your payback in this life, it will come through another life. And then when you come in there, you this perfect person, you're like, oh, I go to church, oh, I do this, or I have these parents, and why did this happen to me so young? Because that was your choice to come back and pay back that karma. And when it seemed like it should never happen to you, you paid it back. And now that the balance is done. Yeah. Now you're just supposed to heal and forgive, and then you will never have to incarnate with this person again. But people, if you go through the process of the trance of spiritual hypnosis, then you will see that. You can see it for yourself. You don't have to go to the card reader. You don't have to go to anyone to try to tell you. You see it for yourself. Oh my God, I did that to them in another life. This was just to balance the karma. I forgive. I hope they forgive me. Yeah. And then you will elevate spiritual. It's like, woo, I have wings now, because that's why you come here. You come here to go through the things and pay back your karma, do certain things, certain lessons, but everything that happens to you have a spiritual reason behind it. Everything. Yes. And everything. Nobody is a victim. Yes. And that's what people that don't believe in, that's what they have to, the people that are atheists, that's why we believe in God, because we know that these things happen for a reason. Yes. It's a reason. It's just, what are you getting from that reason? Did you find in the lesson? So. Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay. This is only supposed to be 15 minutes, but weekdays, that's okay. Whoever gets something out of this, I'm happy. Okay. So last question. What would you say to someone who's suffered in silence? Face yourself. I would say face. You're not a victim. Yes. Face yourself, because victims
they blame everybody, and they sit in sorrow. But a survivor face themselves, and a survivor out of that. And so if you suffer, face yourself, face the reality of things. So if you are dealing with a toxic relationship, face yourself. What do I need to do to get out of this? Or if you suffer through some depression because you experienced a traumatic event as a child and you're carrying that burden, you can release that burden.
Yes.
You know, because you can't carry that stuff with you. You can't. You have to release it. And you don't even have to say that this is your story. This is something that happened.
Right.
And I learned from it.
Right.
Make it a positive story. Make it a testimony. Make it something that you can help somebody else get through that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Suffering in silence, I would say, is, like I said, being a person that was, face yourself. Face yourself, face all your BS. Face BS is tolerated from somebody else. Face that. You know, where you have broken your boundaries. You let people break boundaries, but you broke your own boundaries. Think about facing the times when you didn't trust yourself, when you did not practice self-love and self-care. And, you know, things will open up.
Yes.
It will open
I love
up.
it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Thank you for your testimonial. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you, because you are glowing as we speak. And you know, much success to you. I know we're going to be talking more. You know, and again, I cannot wait to see you when you step into your fourth pinnacle and you step into this master 33 life, that you know, living up to your full potential as a master, and all the souls and all that you will help heal along this journey. Okay. Thank you so much.
Me. Thank you.